Well, hello everybody. My name is Sonia Trevino and I'm with the Houston Homes Legacy Group, and I have the pleasure today of introducing you to Mr. Mac Wolf with Highland Homes. Well, today we're going to do a video on all the information and why you should also come out and visit this great, amazing community. So Mac, what can you tell us about Grand Central Park?
Grand Central does particularly well is really location, right? And that's, with real estate, everybody always likes to say location, 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 and this really is true, especially here, because being able to be close to I-45 and close to the Woodlands and being in South Conroe, while having direct access to all of the things that make this area so great, is pretty unique these days. Being able to be so close to everything that matters. We're right across the street from Conroe General Hospital, our regional hospital. Like I said, very close to the Woodlands and the medical center that the Woodlands houses as well. Lake Conroe being very close, having all of these sorts of amenities really lends kind of a natural vibe to Grand Central Park that a lot of communities, in my experience, don't always have.
Right.
We have the walking trails that they were using when they were here are part of our amenity system, because we have 3 real lakes that used to be where the kayaking merit badge was done and those sorts of things as well. And so when you get to a certain point in the community, also, we stop building. There is no building about halfway into the community, because the rest of it is a reserve. It's designed to be a permanent place where nature really is going to continue to exist. So when you get to the edge of it, where our amenities are and those sorts of things, it really kind of looks like it's a state park as you look out on the 3 natural lakes,
right,
and all the wooded areas and the walkway, all the walking trails.
So when you talk about the walking trails and the lakes, what other amenities can you mention for the folks wanting to come out here to Grand Central Park that y'all offer?
Probably the biggest highlights, there's the stuff that just opened, which is what we call the lake house. This is the gym, the pool, the facilities designed to be rented out by the homeowners, like the people living here, in order to throw their own family parties or have a yoga room experience, or a yoga experience on the top floor of the lake house that overlooks the 2 lakes. They're really trying to design this to be used. I mean, it's all designed to be used by the actual homeowners, right? So that's the amenities that are obviously included. There's also things like dog parks. There's officially 4 dog parks in here,
wow,
and 3 parks, general parks for kids and families to use as well. And that's all included in your HOA dues and just part of the experience out here.
The other thing, Mac, that I noticed was as you're coming in off of 336, all those stores, what's all over there?
Yes. Okay. So that is what's nice about, because usually when you're in these brand new communities, or at least newish communities, it takes a long time to get the commercial development to kind of fill in around it.
Right.
And a lot of this is already here because, of course, the Woodlands is already pretty much right down the street from us. So yeah, we have Kroger and Torchy's Tacos and Dick's Sporting Goods and kind of of course, the essentials like Whataburger and Chick-fil-A. Right. So there's a lot of the kind of basic commercial development that's already here. So you won't have these, 30-minute drives to the grocery store like you would sometimes in these really early stage communities.
Right. So Mac, all of that is great information. I love everything and how you express yourself about Grand Central Park, and I see why. I mean, I love it myself. But now let's talk a little bit about your product in reference to Highland Homes. What is it you offer here? Minimum square footage, maximum pricing?
Right. Okay. So Highland actually is lucky enough to have 2 different products in Grand Central. We really did commit to Grand Central's vision, essentially. So we actually have a 40-foot product, so a reference to the width of the lots, right? So a 40-foot wide product and a 55-foot wide product. So they kind of hit 2 different price points and size ranges, kind of, to a certain extent. So we have a very, wide coverage, both in price point and in size. What that means is we have my product specifically being the 40s, being 1,600 square foot, 1 stories, 3 bedroom, 2 bath type experiences, all the way up to a 5 bedroom, 2 story like the house that we're standing in right now. So we have a lot of ground to cover inside of that, because there's about 10 different plans in both sections, all kind of. So what specifically this product is, I would say, designed for is the 2 ends of the spectrum. It's like the 2 ends of the buyer spectrum, where you have kind of your first-time home buyers that are coming in looking for their first house, young couples, young families. or kind of the other end of the spectrum where people are finally starting to decide, or they're deciding, hey, we don't need this much space. We'd like to do something that still feels nice and has like a Highland type vibe to it, but doesn't necessarily have a bunch, isn't high maintenance and have a bunch of space that they have to maintain all the time. So that's what this product is geared towards, I would say, most of the time. And then our other product, the 55-foot product, is kind of like that second and third home experience for a lot of families too. So really, we hit all of the stages between our two products, like all stages of owning and buying a home.
Where you're at in your journey.
Exactly.
Life.
It's perfect. Perfect way to say it is journey. Yeah,
Yes.
that's right.
That's the best way. Now, also, I've heard Grand Central Park, and correct me if I'm wrong, is it's going to be a community composed of around 1,700 homes, and y'all are at like 500. So we got a lot of ground to cover. There's plenty of choices out here. I'm sure y'all have 1 stories, 2 stories. Could you talk a little bit about maybe just pricing? I know it changes.
Yes.
But just a starting point, so people know if they really, if they can come out here, or just something that'll help our viewers.
Yes. Okay. So my product, the 40-foot product, will usually hang out in like that mid 300 to mid 400 range.
Okay.
So it's kind of both ends of the spectrum for that. I mean, but like you'll see on our inventory right now is sitting in the mid 3s to low 3s. That's actually impossible still right now. And then, this being our biggest house, the one we're in right now, is more like the 450 range. So you have kind of both sides of that. And our 55-foot product will usually start in the high 400s and really cross over into like the high 500s, depending on how big you get, right? Because there's a bunch of different plans to choose from and a bunch of different ways to build them too. So it's just a matter of, figuring out which part of it you'd like to be a part of, essentially.
So basically, you do have a lot of different options. The next thing I would like to talk about is your process. Some people think it's a brand new home. I don't have access to a new home. Tell us a little bit about your, like how, when they can start building, a little bit about the process.
Right. And I think let's see. So there's a couple different ways to go, right? So we have inventory homes at all times, homes that we've already committed to, that we're building, in what, typically picking plans that people find to fit their goals the best, and building them out the way that most people like to build them, with today's trends and everything like that as well. So we have those sorts of routes for people who are interested in a lower maintenance, quicker move-in probably experience. And in those scenarios, you have a deposit of $3,000. That's what really locks something down for you and makes it possible for it to be yours, essentially. And that's really your only deposit most of the time, especially on inventory. That's how it always is. We will be building homes as well, like building them build to suit for people. Most likely the first quarter next year, we will get another round of lots that we're able to do some more things like that. And in that case, what most people are doing is you're coming in, you're picking your lot, you're picking your plan, you're picking the way you'd like to build that plan, because there's a bunch of different ways to do that on each one of these. And then you'd go into the design center and picking all your cosmetics and really having input on every aspect of that house. And so when we do that, once again, your earnest money is $3,000. You do have a second deposit you put down at design center. Okay. But it's all deposit, so it's all refunded back to you at closing to use towards your down payment. It's just part of kind of making sure we're all committed towards moving you into that home, essentially, when it's ready.
So there you have it. You can afford a home out here with only $3,000 deposit. It ties down the home. Mac would help us, assist us in writing up the contract. You have, I guess, we didn't talk about building time. Let's talk about inventory. If they come in and they find one that you've already started, usually, I'm sure it's different phases when you do it, but for someone that's saying, well, I'm going to wait on some money, how long do you think it'll be? Or you're normal?
Right. So when we're building from the ground up, it's a 6-month process. So start to finish, you do contract, you'll move in about 6 months later. And that is something we're pretty proud of, because even like during this craziness, especially the first half of the year with the way the supply chain problems were hitting most everybody, our build time never changed. We were all in on like, hey, we're going to continue to provide the same experience all the way through the process, and we've been able to do that. So I would still say, our build time's 6 months.
6 months.
In an inventory situation, we're ready to move as fast as you're willing to move, and most of the time, if it's finished. And then in other scenarios, like you'll see, if you ever look on our website, you'll see something that's like available in October, available in September, and that will kind of dictate things for the inventory.
Good.
But yeah, that's kind of the strategy. Usually, is just figuring out, does your timeline match up with this? Do you like the plan? Those sorts of things. And if that comes together, then that's usually a really nice situation for somebody.
Awesome. So for all of our international buyers that are watching this video, you can feel at peace, I would say, or comfort knowing that we will be here to represent you right along with Mac. If you do decide to build a home from scratch, we will be there at contract signing, which can be done virtually, I imagine.
Yeah.
And our team will be out here taking videos for you. We'll keep you updated as much as, Mac will be doing it also, but then we'll be taking videos. So keep you in the loop the whole process so you don't feel like you're doing it from a distance. And so if you have any questions, if you have any concerns or doubts, feel free to reach me at 281-850-1066, or you can email me at sonia@houstonhomeslegacy.com. I really hope that you enjoyed this video, and I look forward to hearing from you. Have a great day.